All right, man. Welcome back to another episode of the Sire Podcast Show, also known as Stay On Lane. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about responsibilities behind the scenes. And what I mean by that is we're going to be talking about life, family, friends, and your job, the responsibility you have behind the scenes when it's dealing with your family, your friends, your life, and your job. And I got a special guest today. And this one of my cousins, man, one of my little cousins, you know what I'm saying, my first cousin at that. And I'm gonna let her introduce herself, man.
All right, so known by some, introduced by others. My name is Edric Davis, also known as officially Ed on social media. Friends call me EDD, Lil Ed, Big Ed, whatever. So yeah, I'm a social media influencer. I specialize in lifestyle, fashion, and travel content. I'm also a brother, son, uncle, IT professional, as well as a scholar as well, man of God. So yeah, I'm all of that.
Yes, Lord, yes, Lord. And I appreciate you for coming, cuz.
I appreciate you, man.
Lord. Yes, Lord. You already know what time it is.
Yeah. I'm excited to be here too, by the way. I feel like what you're doing with your platform is very like instrumental to especially to the Black community as well. So I feel like this is a good way of kind of like educating people on different things too. So I'm excited to be here.
Yes, Lord. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Because, you know, on this show right here, for those that ain't tuned in yet and you're tuning in now, let me let you know what we all about. I'm gonna give you that practical life advice, that raw motivation, and a little entertainment. Yes, Lord. Yeah, so
We got to clap it up now.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're gonna pop the show off, man, with the first question of the day.
Mm.
And first question of the day is, at what point did you realize you were the one people lean on the most?
Ooh. Uh, I can't say like it's been since I was a kid, more so. Like growing up, I always been that type of kid to actually like just be giving and sharing and whatnot. So I can say that even at times with my classmates or my best friends in grade school growing up, if they needed a pencil, I'm gonna give it to them, even if that was my last pencil. You know, and certain stuff like that, I feel like I started to realize much more when I got older, especially like once I graduated college. And then for those of you who don't know, I did go to Troy University, got my bachelor's in information systems. And I will say during the peak of COVID, that's when I landed my first big boy job. And once I landed that job, I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous as heck, and I felt the pressure on my back, especially when it came down to the amount of money I was making, especially coming out of college. Like, you know, I never seen that type of money before. So, and my dad actually opened up the offer letter. I don't know if you're gonna be watching this, but that day was funny. But I remember I did get the offer letter at the time, and he read it before I even did. So when he saw the dollar amount that I was receiving annually, he was like, "Whoa, like that's more than me, man. I've been working 40 years, this and that." I'm like, "Oh God." So from that point, I already knew that I was gonna be that person type, you know, to kind of be leaned on or basically for them to lean on me. But I did feel like in that moment, like I owed them, you know, especially from what they given to me. You know, my dad and my mom sacrificed a lot in order for me to get to where I'm at. So I was very much thankful, you know, for that. And yeah, I can say like once I got older, once I did start working in my profession, I realized that there was a time that people probably needed me the most, because that was one of the peak or the times in my life where I felt like I could provide for them rather than leaning on them.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, and shout out to Uncle Ed, man, and Auntie Annie. Hey, when I if y'all watched the previous show, and then when I say about my Auntie Biscuits, yes, Lord.
Mm. Man,
That's his mama. Yes, Lord.
man.
The best biscuits in the world.
Betty Crocker ain't got nothing on her.
That's And like I said, with the elegant serve, man, the elegant serve is so
Bruh.
thick.
with the homemade
The home,
croquettes, man,
yes, Lord.
real down south. So if you ever if you from Alabama and you watching this, you already know we all about our food, Southern hospitality, all that. So yeah, my mama can get down in the kitchen when it comes to baking.
Oh, yes, yes, Lord. Shout out to Union Springs, Alabama one more time, man. Yes,
Real
Lord.
9A,
Yes, Lord.
334.
Yes, Lord. So, y'all know that I don't be capping, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told y'all about them bitches before. Now you know it's real, because this is the son of my auntie that make them.
The infamous biscuit maker.
Yes, Lord.
No can, no popping out, none of that.
Yes, Lord. I'll be down there in a minute. Don't worry. I'm on the way. Have you ever felt taken for granted by family because you're the reliable one?
Almost definitely. I'm the youngest out of 4. Yeah. So I'm the youngest out of 4. I do feel like at times I act the oldest, as people would say. I can say it has been like a bit of a struggle when it comes down to being more responsible or being portrayed as being more responsible compared to your other siblings, because it's like the reliability of you actually, I don't know if I could cuss or not, but fucking up,
Yeah.
your chances are slim to none compared to your people who they might expect that from. So it's like you don't have room for no mistakes, so you got to live this cookie cutter perfect life to not messing up, because if you mess up you feel like a disappointment. So as far as being taken for granted, I feel like at times I seem to have it all put together. So when it comes down to any problems or issues that I might want to vent or talk about, it may not seem as big to other people, because I'm not always the person that people resort to when it comes down to like advice or anything like that. So people expect me not to have a problem or issue because I never express it. So a lot of stuff I do internalize, and I did have to learn growing up, like it's okay to talk about it, but I'm so used to hearing everybody else's problem. Like a lot of my friends even call me Dr. Phil, because when it comes down to relationships, any type of situation they have going on, I'm always that person that always actively listen. Not only that, I give my honest feedback. So being taken for granted, I mean, most people might think it's a bad thing because it comes strictly from your family, but no, family do that as well. Like they might be thinking, I had my nephew message me the other day, like, hey, I need to get on blues. I'm talking about no, hey, how you doing? None of that. And I'm like, sir, what them grades looking like? What we doing? Like, how's everything else going and stuff like that. So, and one thing he did tell my sister too was like, man, Uncle Edgar got it like that. He wearing the latest clothes, the nicest shoes, driving his car, and all this other stuff. So that right there already out the gate. You cannot change nobody's perception of you when it comes down to certain stuff like that. So yeah,
That's real. I feel you on that by you. You know what I'm saying? Being the youngest, that's definitely a big responsibility to hold if the older siblings don't have it together.
Yeah.
Because see, that's one thing that my mom always told me, which is your auntie. Anytime me and my sister may had any differences, she always say, you the oldest.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you're supposed to be the one to set the example.
Standard, yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, set the example, set the standard. That's big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it's vice versa, it's coming from the end instead of from the beginning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely feel you on that. I agree with what you were saying. How do you balance being there for your family without losing yourself?
That's a good question. I will say it is hard. It's tough because, like I said, people expect for you to have everything together when in actuality you have your own issues going on. So one thing I've coming to learn and coming into terms with, especially with moving into the new year, I will say in 2026, I plan to kind of put myself first. Well, not kind of, I plan on putting myself first, because a lot of times I did feel like alone in a sense, because 2025, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, 2025 literally was a hard year for me. Like, it kicked my butt. I ain't gonna lie. Like, if it was a year I can go back and change, I feel like this last year was worse than COVID year. So, and I experienced a lot. Like, I did get laid off back in September of 2025. So that right there was something that was unexpected, and also it was kind of like detrimental, like in the sense of me like not knowing what's next for me. And then, lost friends along the way, got into some trouble, it was just a lot going on. So I can say with balancing that and family was already hard enough, because I've cherished family, I made family my priority or whatnot, but then again I was starting to lose myself. So with that being said, I did go to therapy. And I feel like as Black men in today's society, we all need to seek therapy in some type of way. You ain't got to necessarily just be going through anything, just being like mentally strong and mentally stable, especially with working and living in today's time. Like, it's hard. So I think for me, prioritizing myself has been the biggest thing without losing myself, as far as like with family and whatnot. So yeah.
So as you mentioned that, you seek therapy.
Mm-hmm.
By you having that experience, because I believe a lot of people be scared to
Being a talk to somebody that they don't know. I'd rather talk to somebody I don't know personally versus somebody I know, because it's like all bets are off kind of, and judgment can't be really passed on somebody that you don't know versus somebody you personally. This person just going based off of the issues that you conveying, and then speaking on what you can do to fix it or move forward. So it worked in my favor. Like, I called my therapist aunt, because I was strategic when I looked for a therapist. And one thing about it too, you just can't go out looking and seeking somebody that practice therapy, because everybody like practice is different. So I was very strategic. Like, I want a Black male therapist that I can relate to, that specialize in family as well as like personal mental health. So that was my biggest thing. So yeah.
So do you think by you experiencing and actually dealing with a therapist, for the people that are scared to even try, do you think that a therapist guides you along with whatever you're going through, or they give you advice?
Nah, mine got me.
Yeah.
Only reason being too is because one thing my therapist had always told me, you got to be willing to want to do the work. So if you're not ready and if you're scared, then it may not be time. Once you're ready, I promise you're going to want to talk to somebody. When them life events start happening, especially back to back, it's like, it's like, who else can I talk to? And for me, I feel like therapy was a good outlet for me, because like I said, I'm always looked at as the strong person in my family. Like, I always be the person that everybody run to. So it's like, who can I run to? So that's the only reason why I sought professional help, especially like at times where I wouldn't even say like I had any type of like suicidal thoughts or anything like that, thank God. But I was just saying more so like, how would people around me behave, or how would they, or who would they rely on if I wasn't here? So I feel like for me, that was like a deep question that I had within myself, because it was like, I'm being like stretched thin, and it's like I can't really turn to anybody but God. And in the sense of somebody actually personally being here, who else can I run to? So therapy did help me, man.
Yeah, that's good, man, because I'm pretty sure that'll help a lot of people listening.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
definitely, for real. Like, I learned a lot by myself. One thing I can say, like, having my therapist, like, he hold you accountable for everything. Like, now you said you were gonna leave this alone. Like, why you keep doing this and all this? So it's kind of like it keeps you held accountable, And I'm all about accountability too. So it's kind of like, if I know that I'm trying to be a better version of myself, then I expect somebody to tell me the truth about myself too. Because a lot of people can't handle the truth, and I think that's part of the reason why they're scared to go to therapy.
How do you deal with realizing you show up more for friends than they show up for you?
Ooh, you hit the nail on the head with that question. I ain't gonna lie, man. One thing I can say is this topic is something that I've been recently more so experiencing than any other time in my life. I feel like, with me just turning 29, this the last year in my 20s or whatnot. And I know I don't look like it for the people that watch. I get that a lot. Like, you look 18 or whatever. So, but um I can say I always be that friend that try to make it to every event, no matter what. Like right after I leave this podcast, I actually got to head to a birthday dinner. Then I got a vision board party. But I'm not gonna stretch myself thin and try to make it to everything. But it's just like um growing up into my adult years, I realized too, because I had like a couple events, like just say for instance, like my birthday 2 years ago. I had planned a trip to Cabo and whatnot, and a lot of my friends canceled on me at the last minute. And of course I was disappointed, but me and my homeboy, we just went off the whim and we was like, look, it's your birthday, we still gonna turn up. And me, I'm personally, I don't really hold or take things to heart all the time. But I do feel like if I show up for you more than you show up for me, then I'm gonna start limiting those times where I actually show up. Cause I feel like if you ain't always accessible to me like that, especially like at times where I invite you multiple times, and then you see me on social media with this friend and like, hey, why we ain't going out? Well, the last 5 times, you was unavailable, so I'm not gonna keep inviting you out like that. But with that being said, I had to kind of limit my access to people. Like, I feel like limiting my access to people really made a change in my life because it was no more expectations, no obligations ever made. Like, I lost a lot of friends that I literally value our friendship last year, and even one of the friendships that I've lost, like, we actually had a sit down conversation, and one thing that stuck out to me was the person said, I may not be the friend to you that you are to me. And most people might be offended by it, more so like saying like, well, damn, what you mean by that? But I actually like took the time to ponder on that, and I'm like, like, you know what, maybe I did have the expectations set at a higher standard versus what you can actually deliver. Because one thing about friendship, you can't change who that person is or how they might react in any situation. So that for me was like a eye opener. And then I pray real hard because I got a lot of friends, I ain't gonna lie. And with having a close knit circle and being in the different friend groups, it can kind of like change you as a person in a way. So that's why I do tend to like surround myself around like-minded people, but also not only that, being able to adapt, to whatever changes might go on in my life. Like, if you always a person that I have to reach out to, and I don't hear from you if I don't reach out to you, then that's an adjustment that I'm gonna have to make on my end. So that's just the type of person I am. I maneuver based off the energy that I'm getting. I pray and ask God, like, hey, can you reveal or can you at least remove any people from my life that don't mean me no good? Because I'm trying to like progress and whatnot. So if I'm trying to stray away from like drinking or like going out often like that, then we might, need to change the dynamic of our friendship or whatnot. So yeah.
Well, I definitely know how you feel
Yeah.
when it comes to that because when I was younger, tell you, I made it to every single. I did my
I
best
remember.
to make it to every single thing that I could when it's dealing with family and friends. That's when it comes with growth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You learn and you gain the knowledge that people ain't gonna goddamn treat you the same way you treat them. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna be there the same way you be there for them. Man, I used to be there for people so much. I didn't care what it took to make sure I make it. I would take money out my savings.
Yeah.
And that's
Same.
And that's the God honest truth. Like true story. If a family came in town and they were like, man, let's go out, you know what I'm saying? Let's hang, cuz, let's do this, let's do that. Or my friend's birthday, man, my birthday, man, let's turn up, let's do this, let's do that, man, let's hang out. Because I fuck with you, and I feel like, you know, you fuck with me, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get that same in return. I'm going in the savings. Fuck it, let's ball, let's have fun. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that.
We'll think about that later. The rest later.
But when my turn started coming around, and first thing, oh, I ain't got it, or I gotta do this, or I ain't gonna be able to make it because it is like, that changed my perception of a lot of people. And that's when I started falling back. Like, you know what? Let me stop trying to make everything. And then sometimes when I don't make something, it's not because you ain't made something for me.
Yeah, you try and prove a point.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes people would think like, damn, like I showed up for him, he showed up for me. Now, if you watching this and I don't show up, it's literally because I had something to do.
Yeah.
Or my funds may not be where it need to be to make it for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a real supporter. You support me, I support you.
Exactly.
Hands down. And you have to learn that in life, man. You know what I'm saying? I used to go all out. I go far and beyond, you know what I'm saying? But now, nah.
You can't.
I ain't doing that shit. I go out of town, you know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody coming out of savings for me.
Exactly.
My friend come to my birthday, I try to think of something cheap to where people can afford it, because everybody's lifestyle ain't the same, everybody's pockets ain't the same, everybody's finances ain't the same. So I try to be reasonable to meet in the middle to where I'll be like, all right, bro, this right here ain't that much. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little cheap trip.
Exactly.
Like one time I found a trip for my birthday, was round trip $86. Flying with Southwest, and we was gonna go down to Miami for my birthday, and then the hotel was like, had still on that too. I think it was like $223 for like 4 nights.
Mm-hmm.
They said I ain't got it.
And the next week they probably was in Vegas.
Oh yeah, you look on, you know, their IG or whatever you see they got new clothes, new this, new that. So you just,
they won't be invited back.
You just have to you have to fall back from people.
You really do. And one thing I did learn too, I'm not finna run for nobody if you can't even walk for me. I'm not gonna swim for you if you don't even want to get in the pool for me. So that's the thing, like, I had to learn too over time.
Especially because some of these folks that you doing this for, you got love for.
You really do.
You know what I'm saying? You got love with somebody, and you scratch their back and they don't scratch yours, it hurt.
Yeah. And you know, we from the same bloodline, so we was always taught, like, help people that's in need, do what you gotta do. Like, somebody need the clothes off your back, give it, you know? And that's just how we was raised. But I think for me, I had to learn that everybody come from different walks of life, different backgrounds, so everybody ain't the same, you know? And over time, I learned, you know, you can't really put expectations or high expectations or hopes that to think that people are actually gonna change for you. So
that's a fact. Yes, Lord.
Amen.
By you showing up for people and people not showing up for you, how does that imbalance affect your mental health?
It affect my mental health because you more so like, well, dang, like, what am I doing wrong, you know, in the sense of I can't get the same support that I give to people. Because, you know, I think that I'm a great person, you know. I know for a fact I show up for everybody, you know, regardless of, even if we get into a simple argument, you know, I'm still gonna show up. Especially like in me personally, I'll show up empty-handed often. But even if then, like, I'll give you a gift later on or something like that, it's not like I'm just showing up, but I show up genuinely to support. So if I'm asking, and people be thinking like supporting is showing up, you know, even if you can't make it to something, you know, support me on Instagram by liking my picture, sharing it. You know, if you see that I'm trying to be an influencer or trying to like grow in this industry, like at least, give me that type of like love and feedback or whatnot. And it's not all about just showing up physically, but being there mentally as well too. So for that reason, I feel like a lot of people don't understand that it don't take much effort, and people be putting the responsibility on the actual support versus actually just doing it. And it should, for me, I feel like this should come in nature. Like it shouldn't even be no question on how to support. And if you do have that question, I give you the answer, and you still doing what you want to do, it's like you just, ain't getting it. So ain't no need to keep talking about it.
Yeah, with me, you know what I'm saying, it definitely affected me mentally, when I was going through it back in the time. Like, it just kind of made me feel alone, you know what I'm saying? It made me feel down, you know what I'm saying? Because it'd be like, dang, like, bro, I spent like $300-400 with bro,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking about he can't even spend 50 with me. Like, it, it almost felt like I was betrayed it too, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Definitely gonna feel like that.
yeah, that's why I'm so different now, because now I don't do nothing but go to work, come home, chill, and be on the podcast. You feel me?
It's
Yes, Lord.
way.
Stand out the way.
Stand out the way.
Stand out the way. And I'm talking about, it's so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Um, me getting off of work, New Year's Eve. It's crazy that, and where I'm at, I'm in Clayco. I'm on the south side of Clayco.
All day.
Yeah, that's Georgia, by the way, for the people that don't know.
If they listen to Lotto, they know.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
So, man, and matter of fact, my classmate is the sheriff. So he didn't set up a roadblock and locking people up, god dang, on the New Year for no driver license and no insurance. That got to be one of the worst ways to start your New Year off, by getting locked up New Year's morning, and you may not see daylight until Monday.
I got PTSD.
And it messed up because, your mind thinks, and I just was thinking like, okay, what if it's one of those situations and somebody was like, dang, bro, on January the 2nd, I'm getting my insurance, I'm ready,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting on, the money to hit January the 2nd, I'm getting the insurance, and then you run into a roadblock. Just like that, and now you end up spending your time in jail. And that's a tough situation. Have you ever stayed in a job longer than you wanted to because it wasn't an option?
Yeah, I can't say that. My most recent job, actually, I stayed in longer than I really wanted to. And that's another thing too, when I be speaking things, you gotta be careful what you say as well, because the tongue is a powerful tool. I ain't gonna lie. Cause I know with my last job, man, I used to be complaining and just saying like how it was just being overwhelming. I was the youngest, the only black on my team, so I did feel like a target was on my back as well. But I didn't let that kind of intimidate me in no type of way. Like me personally, I can walk in any room and just feel like, I'm that nigga,
Yeah.
So, and it be times I be shy. I'm human, but at the same time, it's like I don't really let that like overrule my mindset. But my last job, yeah, I did actually like felt like I stayed in longer than I should. I did go on like a medical leave for like 2 months, and then when I got back, that's when I was told, because even when I was on medical leave, I was actively looking for other jobs, But I feel like I was telling God, like, if I return back to work and if this is something for me, then just make sure there's some type of adjustments that need to be made in order for me to want to stay, And when I got back, I did come back to a new manager. Like, but I was saying also, like, if there's something that I don't want to do, still me in the right direction to like actually moving on, you know? Because my job before this one, I actually resigned. And I resigned with no plan in motion, not no idea on what's next for me. I just trusted God. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I stacked up, you know, a good amount of money, you know, for like rent and stuff like that. I even picked up another part-time job being a server, and people be sleep on these serving jobs, but you can't. So when I did just go through that process without having a plan in motion, and then lo and behold, I was given the opportunity of getting a new job. This job kind of was a bit different because I left not on my own terms, but it was a blessing in disguise because the day I did get laid off, I was more so shocked. And I was like, you know, why me? Out of everybody on the team, like, why I got laid off? You know, a lot of questions started going through my head. Like, I got recognized through the company. You know, I was like getting all these good reviews from clients and whatnot. So I'm like, why me? You know? But then I had to think about it. I'm like, Edric, you said you wanted another job. So the only way that this was gonna work is if, cause you weren't gonna leave on your own. So God had to move my feet for me in order for me to feel comfortable with leaving, you know? And I was gifted a severance package, you know, to hold me over for another couple of months, which in my opinion was a blessing in disguise. Because had I would have left on my own, then I wouldn't even had enough, you know. I had a savings, but I'm saying like enough like to actually like save, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't say like that experience itself was something that I stayed in that I didn't even want to. And right now, I'm still not knowing when I'm gonna receive another like blessing or another job, you know, in my IT career. I'm still working, but in my IT, my full-time career, like I don't know when. I'm just waiting on God to kind of point me in the direction on where I want to go. But I've been doing the work. And people be waiting on God for like just a change in life, a change in general. But you got to want to do the work too. So I've been like taking IT courses, and you know, I'm I'm in grad school right now studying system and material engineering. So I'm looking to finish that within the next year. So yeah.
Well, I know I definitely stayed at a job longer than I was supposed to, and quit wasn't an option because I got too many people depending on me.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
You know, my wife and the kids, like, you got to have an open mind, and you really got to use it. You really got to think, because if I would have up and quit that job at the time with, you know, nowhere to go, no other leads on the job, no guarantees, you know, I would have put my family in a situation that we shouldn't be in.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing about me. I don't want my family to ever struggle. You know what I'm saying? If it's left up to me, you know, as long as I got breath in my body and I can get and do it, even if I'm sick sometimes. I'm like Michael Jordan. I'm going to work with the flu.
Yeah.
You feel me? How Michael Jordan goddamn scored 60-something points in the game,
Yeah.
that's me. I'm clutch. If I'm really going to have to be really down. Like that time I caught COVID. When I caught COVID, that was the worst feeling of my life. My body was aching. I feel like my chest was about to cave in. I couldn't breathe. It was no way I could pull the MJ then. But longest, and even when it's my time to leave, you know what I'm saying? Whenever God say, hey, you know, it's your time, Jay, you know, come see me. I'm still gonna leave my family straight because I got life insurance, and if anything happened to me, they're gonna be well taken care of. And that's one thing that people don't realize. I watch so many people, whether it's classmates, sometimes family, friends of friends, people in the world, they leave here and they don't have life insurance.
Mm-mm.
And then, you know, you leave people in a situation that have to put up fund me accounts
Yep.
and trying to raise money. Us as people, we have to take care of ourselves
We do.
and make sure we don't leave that responsibility, as we're talking about on this show, to make sure we don't leave that responsibility to nobody else to take care of you when you're gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of
It's like the
people.
older you are, then the more it is. But for our age, like literally
And that's a fact. Like, a lot of people
don't know
they
that.
don't know the knowledge. They don't know where to start. But one thing as people that we have to learn, reading is fundamental.
Very much.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not calling nobody slow. You feel me? Don't take it the wrong way. But when you read and you're able to comprehend, that's how you gain knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here to tell you, you know, like Cuz just said, life insurance definitely goes by your age. You know what I'm saying? The older you are, the more it is. The younger you are, the less it is. But let's not get it twisted. You know, and some people here be like, man, I can't afford that, man. They'll probably charge me $300-400 a month. No, it's not that.
$20.
I'm telling you, like, it all depends on how much coverage you want. Some people out here got $1 million coverage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but now when you get up there, now we talking bread, but you can throw a little 25,000 on you and not pay nothing for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, I ain't gonna talk your ear off with that, but I just had to put that out there, man. Maybe I might be the one to wake somebody up, but like, you know what? They're watching this. He right, man. Let me look into that. Let me see what I can do for myself, so I don't leave that responsibility to my mother, my wife, my dad, you know, my sister or brother, whoever, you know, the case may be.
Please, cause people be ready to fry fish on Friday, so.
Hey. Hey.
Look, I got darts. Like, you know, bye.
Yes, Lord.
Hey, mom, dad, I hope y'all watching this, cause I know they got it, cause they be reminding me. But look,
yeah, I was trying to laugh on. Oh. Yes, Lord. Yeah, I wasn't trying to laugh on that one, you know what I'm saying? But that just seemed a little funny to me. But yes, Lord. Yeah, definitely. Hey, I don't know about no other race, but hey, other black folks definitely love to find some fish, and they gonna show up.
I'm telling you,
Whether they liked you alive or they didn't, they gonna show up for that fish.
with 2 pieces of bread, ketchup, mustard, and hot sauce. For real. And they ain't gonna bring nothing either.
God almighty.
They ain't gonna bring nothing.
Yes, Lord.
And my question to you too, with the not leaving the job or staying at a job longer than you expected to, do you think that that's more so like a how can I say this? Like more like a hereditary thing, like, you know, from our ancestors being more like, being slaves and them feeling obligated to listen to the white or listen to, you know, the people in higher power at the time. Do you feel like that's passed on down to our generations too? Because I know, like, for our parents, for instance, you know, my mom, she worked in the poetry plant or poetry industry for like over 30 years. And that's something that she really wasn't even expected to do. She wanted to be a nurse. So I felt like the obligation of staying was more so like, well, if I leave, what else I'm gonna do next? You know? So what's your take on that? What you be think?
Like in today's time, I wouldn't feel like it's passed down from the ancestors more on the slavery type of thing because, you know, back when it was a slavery type of thing, you had no choice.
That is true.
You didn't have an option. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But do you feel like some people feel like they don't have an option?
I feel like some people feel like they don't have an option when that's all they know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what
they've been in this job 15, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You got your 401k invested. You got any type of investments you may have with the company. You got your retirement built up with this company.
Mm-hmm.
So with that much time being invested, I feel like they feel like they're stuck. They don't have nowhere else to go because it's too much time invested. You know what I'm saying? You go and start another job, when you put that much time, you know, you can take everything that you have done and just transfer everything to the new job, but their mindset be different. They don't think that way. They just like, boy,
they get comfortable and complacent.
Yeah, I can't leave this job. Like I'm gonna lose everything.
Right.
They're not gonna think that they can just transfer. They're gonna say, I'm gonna lose everything. I can't. It's all I got, so I can't lose this job. And that's how people end up being trapped in a job that they should have woke up a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, back to what I was saying earlier, how I was saying, show up for people how they show up for you.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, this is a true story. Sometimes my friends want me to show up for them in ways I don't show up for them. So with me, I can't help you move shit. I'm not the person to call on that say, hey, cuz, shoot, I'm moving out the apartment, moving out the house. Can you come give me a hand? Hell no. I cannot give you a hand. No, I cannot. And I'll be brutally honest with people because I can't afford to hurt myself moving your shit. I don't even move my own shit. You know what I do? I move us.
Mm-hmm. Task rabbit on deck.
So if I don't do it for myself, I damn sure can't do it for you.
I made a mistake of letting my family move for me. From Mobile, Alabama to Atlanta. My brother literally was riding on the interstate with the U-Haul truck. Like, the door was open. My stuff about to fly off. My dad calling him, telling him to pull over. I said, never again. Never again.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I can't do. Yeah, I ain't doing no moving because I pay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Then you have these friends that be like, oh, I ain't got that much stuff. Oh, I sold most of it.
I done hurt people's feelings when it comes to moving. I'm sorry. I apologize again, but they know I can't move now. Even my mama know I can't do it. And she'll say, oh boy, you're just so lazy. You don't want to do nothing. Well, hey, I love you, mama. Call it.
You honest though, cause folks, they'll tell you they can and they don't even show up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I'm just gonna tell you straight up.
Go on and tell me.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Don't call Jermaine. Please. Please.
You need $100, I put toward the bill if I got it. But that's the only way I can help you. Cause I can't move nothing. How do you mentally separate work pressure from your personal life?
Me, I ain't gonna lie. When I'm off the clock, I don't even think about work. I learned how to dissect the two. Like, when I did work full time, I slam my computer quick. I'm talking about slam it to the keyboard, like the keys about to pop off that mug. Like, so at 4:30, I'm not opening it back up. If Friday hit at 4:30, I'm not opening back up to Monday. But I used to be real big on like letting stuff like mentally get to me though. Like, just from management and from like being in my position, like I was saying, I was the only black man, the youngest as well too. So that did kind of play over into my personal life too, because I'm more so looking at, dang, I gotta wake up to this job and I don't want to go to it. But I had to stop saying it being more like present with the job itself. And that's how I was able to kind of separate the two, not actually like taking on my work life and putting it into my personal life like that.
I would say when I was younger.
Mm.
The only work pressure that I would have, having a controlling leader or supervisor or lead or whatever their title may be, like, it just seemed like some people, they just do too much for power.
They really
You know what I'm saying? Like,
use their seniority as a way of like dictating how they are as a person. Like some people you could tell ain't never had that type of power ever in life, so being in that position made them feel good.
yeah, because when I do my research and find out a little bit about the people that abuse their power, it's just like in school they picked on, or nobody listened to them, or they never felt heard, or they've never been in control of anything. And now that they have this power to tell people what to do, they abuse it.
Yep.
And that's the only other work. I mean, that's the only work pressure I ever had. And I was like, boy, I hate going to this motherfucker, boy. I just want to slap the shit out of this nigga today, bro. Like,
When
bro,
you get to that, it's like, dang, do I quit?
yeah, like,
Because if you quit, you can't get unemployment. It's like, what I do, what I need to do.
yeah, like, boy, because I know I wanted to take the pallet and just slam that motherfucker over bro head like the WWE and wrestling, goddamn, because bro told me, he said, hey, look, I need you to go and get that pallet. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna finish rapping this one first, and then I'm finna get to that. Now,
I ain't gonna lie, the way you said that made me jump back. Like,
bro, like, people had to realize that we human at the end
we
of the
really
day.
human now. That's the biggest thing.
And
like, you cannot.
when we clock out, boy, that can be your ass.
It's up.
That can really be your ass. Like,
Off the clock.
Yeah, and after I whoop your ass, yeah, you gonna come for me and try to find me, but I'm gonna feel so good about whooping your ass that you ain't gonna never think about wanting to find nobody no motherfucking more.
That's how I was. Like, I worked in a call center, so you know how the energy that people project over the phone is different from in person. So even working virtually, me personally, like, I am a very unserious but serious person. So I did get a call come in. I work for like a collections agency or whatnot. And so I'm telling him, like, this is a depth to collect the depth. Any information I obtain gonna be used for that purpose and whatnot. The little call script. Those that work in collection know. So he was like, what do you want, nigger?
Oh, well.
And at that time, I'm like, okay, should I go to the phone or should I go off? Should I cuss him out? Like, what? This man don't know me from a can of paint, but he could definitely tell that I'm black. So from that point, I told him, reread the script again. He cussed me out, called me all type of nigga, monkey, and all that other stuff. That was the first time ever I've been called a nigga like that. So to hear that, it was like, okay. So
hold on, what the phone?
I hung up the phone, but what I did afterwards, if you watching this, you probably man, I went and skip trace, found that man number, found his Facebook, found his number, and then ended up prank calling. And that's what I ain't gonna lie, I got to get back. I be playing get back sometimes. So yeah, I prank called him, and when I tell you he was so upset, it got to a point where I started laughing in the phone because I felt like I got my revenge back. Now, it wasn't right, but I had to get him, man. I really had to.
People like that, I don't even pay no mind.
You really can't.
It's just like with this podcast, you're gonna receive good comments, you're gonna receive bad comments.
Yeah, and that's part of being a creator too. Like, people don't understand, like, I'm sensitive about my shit. So when I know it's coming from a genuine place, then yeah, I could take critiques or criticism. But when I feel like you just talking shit, it's like, okay, like, now I feel like, you a hater a little bit, but I get it, it comes with the territory, So like you said, like, And that's another thing I try to dissect on what I want people to view me as versus what they probably portray me to be. Because from the outside looking in, this content creating lifestyle or whatever like that, even just being a creator with your podcast and whatnot, people think you got it like that. Like you got all this nice equipment and people just like, oh man, Jermaine, he rich, you know. People see the car that I drive or something and they'll be like, oh, you got money, you got bread, this and that. I'm like, I'm not rich at all. Like it just more so I like nice things, so I work for it. And I feel like the misconception that we as creators get is more so you got it like that. You living this lifestyle, you going out eating and all this other stuff, and a lot of stuff be sponsored. Like over the like last couple of months, you don't realize how many people reach out to me personally and be like, well, dang, Ed, you going out again? Are you drinking again? Are you doing this again? This and that. And some videos might be old, you know, that I might repost or share on my story. But it don't necessarily mean that. And for a minute, I did start to question myself a lot. Like, am I drinking too much? Am I going out too much? Am I showing too much? Because I don't want to be portrayed as that, you know? So that kind of made me redirect on what I want to put out there. But then when I did go to therapy and talked about it, one thing my therapist told me, you are in control of what you post on social media and what you want people to see you as, you know? But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's right, but you don't really have to change what you want to be or what you want to do for other people, you know?
When it's times in life and people feel like it's your responsibility to listen to them and to be there for them. Do you ever feel guilty when you take time for yourself and you don't pick up the phone when they feel like that's your responsibility too?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, I used to feel guilty all the time, but I ain't gonna lie. One thing my therapist even told me, I know I keep bringing it up about me having a therapist, but there I learned a lot. Learn how to say no. Like once you start learning how to say no, that would go ahead and establish that boundary to people who don't even reach out to you as much no more. And that'd be the best feeling too, because the obligation of having people to always call on you when they need something, like you they last resort when you they first stop, it's like, okay, now you pushing it. You know, I just gave you $20 yesterday. Now you want $20 today. Then the next day come, you want $20 again. How much more? And one thing that I've heard from a sermon once was, you know, the saying like, my cup running over. So anything that's in the cup is for me. Anything that runs over the cup is what I choose to share with you. You know, not saying that it's an obligation for me to share with you, but that's what I be going by, or what I live by. And I did see this podcast with Shannon Sharp and Miss Pat, and a lot of y'all that's into like comedians and all that. Miss Pat, she funny as hell. Like she be speaking some real stuff, but she funny. But she said that like her brother had asked her to help buy him a house. She was like, nah, I'm not helping you buy no house. Like, you know, and he was like, oh, you got all this money, so why you can't help me, you know? And now that, you know, her show is thriving and whatnot, she on TV and whatnot, you know, that's the expectancy that people have on her, like, especially people that's close to her, like her brother.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she was like, hell no, I ain't made buy you no house. Like, she said it like that. And he was like, well, damn, you gonna do me like that? Yeah. Because what I have for me is for me. And I work hard to get the things that I have, you know, and not saying that I'm not able to help, because if at any point in time, if I'm able to help, I will. But I feel like people do be overdoing it, you know.
I say if there's any time that I have to, you know, take time myself, I don't feel guilty about it, because anytime you're taking time to take time for yourself, that just means you're putting yourself first.
You put yourself first.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So,
and taking time to yourself don't necessarily mean, you know, you always got to go out by yourself. You know, I will do that, like go to the movies or do something, get a manicure, pedicure, massage, all that. But lately, I ain't gonna lie, I've been enjoying just being at the house in complete silence.
Yeah.
And that helped me.
Meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That helped me like open my mind to like creativity, like what I want to do next. Like, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh, hey, look, I'm a solo dolo type of person. If I ain't got nobody to go with me, one monkey don't stop no show. Get what? I'm going.
His train gonna keep on rolling.
If I add wifey, look, you want to go to a goddamn whoop the whoop basketball game, football game, she'll be like, nah, I don't want to go. Get what? I'm in there by myself. You feel my?
Mhm.
If I add my partner, boy, it been a little minute. Shit, you trying to goddamn hit the goddamn strip club, trying to hit goddamn what. They say, nah, bro, I ain't trying to fuck around right now. I'm chilling. Get what? I'm in there by myself.
Man, what?
Yeah.
That's how that be the best thing though. Cause I did take a solo trip to Orlando 2 years ago. Literally was the best time I had. I went to Universal Studios. Thought that I was gonna be nerve-wracked because I'm like, who go to a theme park by themselves? But I met so many people down there, like it was crazy. Like the lounges and all that. So I recommend that for anybody for real. Put yourself first.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know how to put themselves first. They don't know the right procedures
I always
or
need
way to
somebody,
start.
you know, we need to practice independence and like stop relying solely on people. That's how people get disappointed. Always relying on somebody to be there with them. You know, I feel like that right there itself is a stressor. So get rid of that mindset, you know. Do what you gotta do.
What's one truth about responsibility people don't want to admit?
One truth about responsibility that people don't want to admit. I guess the obligation of being responsible.
I would say one truth that people don't want to admit is accepting it.
Accepting the responsibility.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was trying to say too. Like, feel obligated to be responsible and accepting it.
Yeah.
That's true. Because, I mean, I know people that don't like responsibility in my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks and it's kind of messed up because at the end of the day, I feel like it shouldn't be a question about what is your responsibility. But when you don't prioritize your responsibility, then good things ain't really gonna come to you like that.
Yeah, man, that's a fact. Everybody has a responsibility as a human being, male or female.
Yep.
You do not have to have kids to have a responsibility, because if you're a single man or a single woman, guess what? It's your responsibility to take care of yourself. It's your responsibility to pay your bills. It's your responsibility to make a career for yourself, to go to your job and work. It's your responsibility to take everything that's in your control.
Or read the consequences.
Now, if you have children, that's a different type of responsibility, because guess what? These kids ain't asked to be here. Ain't nobody knocked on your Willy Winkle, you feel me? Yes, Lord. And ain't nobody they scratched on your cootie cat and say, please bring me in this world. I need to be here. Yes, Lord. They ain't did that. These kids ain't did that. Y'all did what you did in the bed. You did your little thing. You listened to Jeremiah birthday 6. Some of y'all even get born to NBA Youngboy. You understand me? But yes, Lord. I mean, once again, that is crazy. Some of y'all getting born to NBA Youngboy. But yeah, that's some gangster stuff, I guess. But yes, Lord, these kids ain't had to be here.
Boom, bow.
Yeah, man. Hey, and listen here, NBA Youngboy, if you ever see this, just know that this ain't a diss, okay?
Oh no,
It's ain't
It's
this.
not-
Just having fun. That's all.
Please.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, Lord.
Don't need no Shreveport in there. Please. I ain't trying, no problem. I love Louisiana.
Yes, Lord. Yeah, man. That responsibility hit different when you have children because, man, that's somebody that looks up to you, man. Those you gotta think about it as a mother or a father.
Mm-hmm.
Man, these kids look at you while they little as their hero. You know what I'm saying? They save it, man. They look at you like you got a cape on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you are that role model. You are that celebrity to them, and can't nobody come between that bond. You know what I'm saying? So, for the people out there that got children, man, and you ain't take that responsibility to raise your kids, or you gave them up, or you got them living somewhere else, man, you got to tighten up.
Mm-hmm.
You got to tighten up because one thing about it, two things for sure. Those people that don't take their responsibility when they bring children in the world, they always wonder, they always ask themselves this question: God, why me? Why am I going through this? Why am I struggling? Why I can't advance in life? Your kids ain't advancing in life because you ain't got them. Your kids ain't asked to be here. They ain't. They struggling. Goddamn, because you ain't doing what you gotta do. So why God gonna take care of you and you ain't taking care of them?
Yeah. And that's why I try, because I got nieces and nephews, or I have nieces and nephews that look up to me in a way. And so I try to be that role model for them as well, regardless if they want to hear what I got to say or not. It's still a priority of mine to make sure I teach them stuff that they don't know. And part of that growing up, because I was an uncle at 9 years old, so you can see the age difference or the age gap between me and my older siblings. But I feel like we was raised as siblings in a way since we close in age, but at the same time they still respect me as an adult. So I feel like with that being said, it's things that I feel like I probably had taken the responsibility on just because I know certain events or life events may have happened to where people may not be in a good space or place at the time. So I've taken on that responsibility to kind of like help out a little bit. So yeah, I feel like part of being an adult, you do have to prioritize your responsibilities as well. And to me, just even being a person with no kids, like, I have responsibilities as well. Like I can't go out to a lounge knowing that I got my light bill due tomorrow, If I know that I'm not like, if I'm not in the position, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm like.
That's a whole nother story there. Yeah, I never understood that, how people can call and work out a plan and say, look, I'm gonna give you this right here, and then next week, next 2 weeks, I'm gonna give you this. And they only do that so they can go on a trip and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
But if I ain't got it, and I gotta work out a payment plan for my lights or goddamn water bill or this, just to go, boy, I won't be going.
Cause Georgia Power be waiting right by the switch.
Yeah, I won't be going. Yeah, I would not be going. I'm good on that. Like my bill's gonna be paid
regardless.
Before I try to do anything, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So some people gotta definitely handle their responsibilities before you think about having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, we getting to the end of the show, man. We're gonna wrap it up with the last question of the day.
All right, let's get it.
Yes, Lord, last question of the day. If you could take one weight off your shoulders today, what would it be?
One weight that I would take off my shoulders. I guess the weight of giving a fuck. Like I said, like I used to be so hard on myself about what people think of me. and how they perceive me to be, trying to be a people pleaser. But when you honestly think about it, everybody literally go through like different things, but ain't nobody perfect, we all human, we all got to die one day. And I bleed just like you bleed, That's the reason why I tend to, at least when I go to networking events, I don't even think about what people might look at me or see me or like how they might perceive me as. I go as myself, I speak, and I just, network with the right people. So having that expectation of really not really giving a fuck about what people say, that's one thing that I would leave this earth today and, have that weight off my shoulders, like not really caring about what nobody say. And I know that might be cliche, but it is. I feel like, even as a creator, like you really be hard on yourself, especially with how you want to be perceived there. So the judgment and the criticism come from other people. It can be hard sometimes because it can make you really mess with your confidence. And, you may not want to post or get ready with me tomorrow because somebody said your clothes too big, So I just feel like, when you think about it, spending less or spending more time not really caring about what people think of you or how they feel about you, I feel like that might lift a whole lot of weights off of everybody's shoulders, really. And I ain't saying that you should just walk around being like, oh, I don't care what they think. Not really being open to criticism, especially because, like I said, ain't nobody perfect. So sometimes it's good to be put in check, but don't keep checking for like that.
If I can take weight off of my shoulders, and there's one thing I would say, I would take off trying to figure out who is loyal. Loyalty, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's a big thing with me.
It really is.
You know what I'm saying? If I could take that weight off my shoulders, because it almost feels like somebody is holding me, you know what I'm saying, trying to pull me down.
Especially when you deal with trust issues and you have a lot of resentment built up, man, it's hard to get that back. I ain't gonna lie.
Exactly. If I ain't have to worry about loyalty, that's one thing I could take, get that weight off my shoulders, just shove it off real quick.
Hey, do what?
You feel me? You understand me? Good God Almighty. Yeah, man, listen, that's one thing that I would just, just boom, just get up off of there. And I believe I could move through life a lot more equipped, a lot more efficient, because I wouldn't worry about who can do this for me, who really for me, who ain't for me. I could just move swift, like it wouldn't even be no thing. You understand me? It's Lord.
Amen.
Yeah. So, and that's why it's good to do things like this, you know what I'm saying, by having a podcast, because you get different perspectives. Yes, Lord. You understand me?
It's on the same way.
Yeah. You see how we said that together?
We did a little, just the two together. Perspective.
Yes, Lord, man. That's how great minds think alike, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, Lord, man, listen. I appreciate everybody, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna tune in, that be tuning in. Listen, this is definitely been a great show, man. I definitely have fun with this. I don't know if you can tell it, but this is something I love doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is something I definitely love doing. I'm not doing this for the fame, for the clout chasing. I'm doing this because this is what I enjoy doing, and I really love it. And it brings peace to me and make me feel good.
And let me tell you somebody, man, because he don't get enough credit. This man been talking about doing a podcast for a minute. Like, and one thing I can say, Jermaine is like the ultimate most positive person. Like, I know, like, any advice you want to get, this man always come through with it. So I can say what you're doing for your like with your platform is very like monumental and stuff. So I want to say like continue like doing this for real because it's really like opening people's eyes and educating, people. And he got like some good content with good substance too. So it's just not like you just having a conversation. Like I really felt comfortable talking, and some things that I probably talked to you about that I never even said. So appreciate it. This the first one of the year.
Yep, this is the first one of the year. Yes, Lord.
Let's see.
Yes, Lord.
So, I'll be back most definitely.
Yes, Lord.
With a different topic for sure.
Man, once again, thank you for tuning in to the Sire Podcast Show, aka Stand in Your Own Lane. And one thing we offer is that practical life advice, that raw motivation, and a little entertainment. And I appreciate y'all. Stay tuned for more. And we out.
Loyalty.